All right, Chad, bear with us while we try and get this together. I'm sure as it goes along, every Monday, you will be seeing this, and Q will be editing and uploading it to you. And we're going to try and get it on audio platforms as well.
Yeah, I think as long as I go in like on Resolve and after I edit down the video like to the length, like the way that I want to cut it up, then I think I can just render it out as an MP3 and then upload it to the sites that way. I think I could be wrong, but
All right, well let's put this out on. Are we starting with gaming? Are we starting with sports? Or are we starting with some smoke?
what's going on right now with Oogie? Like as far as like your stream, like what games you playing, how you
Well,
digging them, any content you got coming on, like something like that.
right now we do during the week. It's a lot of Paladins.
Mm-hmm.
Cold War beta is coming out. So you'll see me on the Cold War beta a lot. The Beast Coast family does their Sunday football streams.
Right. Okay.
Which is every Sunday at 11 a.m. Take you up to kickoff, talk about all the games, talk about fantasy, all that stuff.
So what's your rule? As long as you watch the game, then you start streaming after. So if you guys happen to have a later game, do you normally start? Or I guess have you guys had a later game?
No, we
yet?
start at 11 a.m.
No, I know for you guys. I'm saying for your stream afterwards, because you're always streaming after football, right?
Well, I stream up until the football stream goes 11 a.m. till like 12:45 ish, so we can get to the 1 o'clock games and watch them.
Right.
My Sunday stream itself after that depends on the Eagles, honestly, because I'm never going to stream during the Eagles game.
Right.
I'm going to watch the Eagles.
I guess that's what I was asking. Was you normally?
Yeah. So like, if the Eagles play at 1, I'll probably have a stream right around 5.
And they're normally on the 1 o'clock game unless they're playing a West Coast team, right? On the road.
Right. They do get some nighttime games, like the San Fran game was Sunday night. Schedule real quick.
Weevil was upset the other day when because they haven't started like letting people into the stadiums yet down here in Baltimore.
Yeah, so speaking of Baltimore, that's who we play this week.
Yeah.
That is a 1 o'clock game.
Are you guys on the road for that, or is that at home?
That's home. It's Baltimore here. Then we play the Giants and the Cowboys in back-to-back weeks, which are both 8:20 games.
Well, I mean, you guys and the Cowboys usually get a prime time, if not both your games being prime time, but usually at least one of them is.
Right. So if anything, so this week will be a normal 11 o'clock stream for the football stream, and then I'll get off and then come on probably around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
Gotcha. Okay.
The 8 o'clock games, I may just stay on stream after I make sure all my fantasies in and my bets are in and all that good stuff. I'll probably just stream through till probably 4 or 5 o'clock and then get off, take a break, eat, and get ready to watch the games.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So now it's your turn. Tell me what's going on with your boy Cue.
So I mean, right now we're just kind of we're getting ready for the move. As far as like what's going on here with us, we get our keys in 2 weeks, so we're super excited. Kind of at the point, content wise, I have some like ideas of what I want to start doing gameplay wise with DBD. Maybe even do some Phasmophobia, like a gameplay or two here or there, but I don't know if that's something that like I can create content for.
Well, I think just taking off of Phasmophobia, I think we could probably come up with a funny video for the first time that I play this game. So
yeah,
we play it together, and we just tell the chat to clip the shit out of it and go from there.
I've honestly had a lot of fun playing it every time I've played it. I can definitely see like the hype around it. It's the vibes on it are very like creepy,
And just to be like totally out front, like I believe in that certain stuff.
Right. Oh yeah, 100%. Right.
I believe in it. So playing a game like that, like I watch Ghost Hunters, I watch all that shit.
Yeah, so, right. Yeah, okay. We definitely do too in this house.
So like having a game come up with that concept is dope. It's dope to me. Like they came up with a concept and said, okay, let's take Ghost Hunters and make it into a video game, but not name it Ghost Hunters.
Right, exactly.
And I think with a little more um, support, like obviously a lot of people are playing it, so they're probably making more money than they have in a while.
Well, I know that this initial release was expected to be just an early release, and it caught wave from somewhere.
Right. So now I can see, instead of just in the future, instead of creepy hands or shadow figures, like it becoming more and more a
Oh,
horror type
sometimes you
game.
see the like actual like ghosts that you're hunting, and they're pretty creepy looking.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think that going forward will gain more steam, gain more popularity, and they'll be able to do more with
I think I
the.
heard it's just one like it's just one developer,
Yeah, yeah,
which is pretty amazing.
yeah. It's kind of cool.
That's like this game I'm waiting for to come out. They've told me on social media they're expecting it to like come out for alpha probably like by the end of the year, but Horrors of Space. It looks like
Okay.
DBD, but it's like nobody plays the killer. The killer is an AI and it adapts to what the four survivors do during the course of like trying to escape.
Okay.
Um I listened to a podcast that the guy was on, and because he put it up on like the like Twitter page for the game, and I listened to it, and it's all based off of how your response are, like what noises you make. You know, if you're trying to like do a quick open on a door, or if you're actually finding keys and unlocking them. So it looks like it's going to be very much of like trying to crack the code per se, especially if you have like a good team.
That sounds like a game that'll be dope though.
Yeah, so it's gonna kind of be like this one though. It's again, it's a single developer. So right now they only have one level. That's the thing that's nice about Phasmophobia is it's got. I feel like we haven't seen all of them, but we've already seen like a nice handful of them, like right off the bat.
And I think certain things like that just look so. And this is a conversation that's been had in my chat and your chat. COVID simply oversaturated everything.
Yeah,
Um, everybody was playing video games. Everybody got tired of playing video games. Which is why you fell into the DBD thing, the Sea of Thieves thing, and stuff like that. Me going from Paladins, trying Minecraft, trying other things. It's just trying to find different content to put out there. And I think we're starting to come to an area where content is going to become more available.
yeah. What do
You
you have coming out that you're looking forward to?
well, obviously Call of Duty coming out. I'm really looking forward to that. Cyberpunk, everybody and their mother is looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So going from there, I haven't really looked beyond that yet.
Is the new COD have BR to it or no?
So Warzone is going to follow into the so like now Cold War is going to come out. Warzone will have updates that incorporate Cold War, so weapons, places on the map, stuff like that.
So is it gonna kind of be like when Fortnite got like a map like remodeling sort of deal?
I don't know if they're going to redo the whole map or not, or just add like areas from
Gotcha.
like
Okay.
Cold War or whatever into the already map. But Warzone, they're not coming out. So you know how Blackout had their thing,
Right.
and then Warzone, it's just going to stay Warzone.
Okay.
It's
I
just a
got you.
free to play battle royale. It's just going to incorporate the new Call of Duty stuff, which I think is smart because Call of Duty comes out with a new game every year. But worldwide Call of Duty, so Call of Duty that's over in like Japan, has been the same game for years.
Really?
And they just keep updating it. And people love the game. And it's just, I think, keeping a battle royale, kind of like Fortnite, but Fortnite is its own entity. Warzone is tied into Call of Duty.
Right.
Keeping the same battle royale and updating it every year with what's coming out, I think is a good idea for Call of Duty to do.
Have you gone back and played Rogue recently at all?
I have not. I do have it downloaded still.
I was debating on if I wanted to give it a try on PC now that it's free. Because obviously when I got the PC, I didn't want to have to like go looking for a PC code. I wasn't going to pay again. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I don't know, man. I'm kind of enjoying the shooter free lifestyle right now. I'm definitely enjoying the BR free lifestyle right now.
Yeah, and it's nice. It was nice to get away from BRs for a while because
you had started on
honestly,
Apex, right?
Apex is probably still my favorite game.
Yeah.
If I got back into it heavy, it's nice to take a break from the battle royale. And even when I'm playing Paladins, I don't always go siege. I don't, you know what I mean? Like playing a team deathmatch every once in a while is cool with me.
Right.
Because one, I'm trying to involve the community in as many games as I can get in the stream. It's good. So a team deathmatch game goes 5 to 8 minutes, and a siege game can go 15 to 30 minutes, depending on
some of those 4-3 games. Yep.
Exactly. So, but like when chat goes, "Hey, you want to play siege?" Sure, we'll play siege. I'm not opposed to it. I'm playing Strix. I get a chance to get 200,000 damage. I'm good.
Yeah, it was funny. We played last night, and that was the first time I had played Paladins. I did 1 day stream last month. I don't even remember what day it was. I still enjoy it when I play. I think because I did so much ranked there for so long, it really burnt me out.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like me, I don't touch ranked. There's days I get on and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play ranked, and I play like 2 or 3 games, and I'm like, all right, I'm done. By the way, Moon, that's for you, right there.
Chicago, huh?
That's my Call of Duty team right there.
See, I'll watch Call of Duty, and Moon's tried to get me into watching the events and stuff, and I'll watch some here and there, but I don't follow it. I don't follow it like I followed Halo back in the day. And maybe that's part of my thing is I came up a Halo guy, and there was always that like Halo versus COD stigma, you know what I mean?
No, I get it, but like even somebody as a COD player, I went to play Halo. I played with Creepy a little bit on Halo. I'll play the new Halo.
Oh, I don't know if I will. I don't know if I will, to be perfectly honest.
You're gonna play it.
Yeah, you're probably right. But
you're gonna play it.
I mean, you're probably right, but bigger by the second. What do you mean?
You're saying you're lying.
Nah. There's one time that boy was over at my house. We watched like almost an entire weekend's worth of an event. I think that's part of it. It's so long.
See, Call of Duty, I've always, even with me, so like Modern Warfare came out. As usual, I was excited. Played the beta, I was like, yeah, cool. Got to 155, which was the max level at the time. Reset, got to 155 again. Reset, got to 155 again. And that's when I was done with Call of Duty.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was done with Modern Warfare, not Call of Duty. Let me rephrase that. And I went back into it maybe once or twice over the next 6 months.
Yeah.
And I had no interest in it at all. But I watched every event from professional Call of Duty because it's not just about the game. It's about like, I'm a fan of these guys as if I was watching the Philadelphia Eagles. If I was watching one of my sports. I am a fan of these guys, and I watch because it's the best people at Modern Warfare, at Call of Duty.
Oogie out here simping for COD pros. I got you.
But no, it's just it's the same thing. Like it's the same thing as you become a Brian Dawkins fan. Well, in Call of Duty, I'm a Scump fan. So like any team that Scump plays for, that's who I'm going to be a fan of. My favorite player, and that's who it is. With all the new young guns coming in, I'm glad to see he's still being able to hold his own. He's been competing in Call of Duty since he was years old. Now 23, 24 years old. So he's considered one of the older COD pros. But that's my man right there.
Do you think he's far off from becoming? Do you think he's far off from becoming a content creator more than a
Oh
competitor?
no! He even said it in a recent podcast. He did the 100 Thieves podcast. He's not far off from just being a content creator. And listen, the guy's a millionaire already.
Right.
Content is going to be ridiculous when he does it, but he's not ready to give up the competitiveness that he has.
That's fair. I mean, that's understandable.
Exactly. See, the thing is, like Scump's YouTube videos of him pub stomping back in the day used to get millions of views. Like, he would just go into a pub lobby, drop 100 kills on somebody, make a YouTube video out of it.
I don't know if I've ever been like that disgusting at a game. I was pretty sick at like Halo 3. But when you watch that, or like when Fortnite was getting big and people were like solo squadding and wiping like a third of the lobby, stuff like that.
You know what? I think we could get into the Paladins minor leagues. Come up with a squad, because remember, it's not just keyboard and mouse. It's not like ranked. You can have a team that has keyboard and mouse players and controller players on it.
Yeah, I just don't know if I'm about the life of scrimming, to be honest with you.
Oh man, stop, man up. Let's do it.
Man.
Let's do it.
Nah, man.
Let's show them these old men can still do it.
Nah, man.
Listen, they can't ban Vivian, Strix, Victor. They can't ban all three of them. So like, we're always going to have some.
Yeah, but I feel like at this point there's so many pros in that league that have been around for so long. Like, man, I don't know. Plus that, not only that, but like, man, this might be their last season.
But so I know you're looking forward to Cyberpunk. Anything else coming out that you're looking forward to?
For me, so there's Cyberpunk. I really want the new Diablo to drop. I'll probably play a lot of that. And after the move, I just might have to get into WoW, I think.
See, that's funny, because Figgy was in my chat the other day. He's like, you should get into WoW. And it's never been my type of game.
Man.
I've always been an FPS and stuff like that. I've never been an MMO RPG player. But this time has been so weird that it has you thinking of doing other things. Content creation purposes.
I like it because it's something that I could throw into rotation in the morning. Like once I get like leveled up, obviously I can raid and stuff at night, but
right.
I think the level up process I would be able to supplement some of my morning streams in for, because then it's really more of a for real just chatting when you got time to swing by, let's chat whilst I'm like questing and leveling and grinding, you know what I mean? Like it's like it almost makes it a just chatting stream, but you're still playing a video game at the same time. Like you're not like soaked in like a siege map.
I thought about it. I know it's the $15 a month. I know the expansion pack is like way expensive when that's coming out. And I don't mind paying the $15 a month, but paying like $70 for an expansion pack, like I want to make sure I'm going to be.
Oh, is that what they're doing?
Yeah. I want to make sure that I'm playing the game enough to warrant me spending that.
Yeah. So I remember soaking a lot of my time into World of Warcraft before there was Burning Crusades, before there was a Lich King. Like I remember before there was ever an expansion in like when Battlegrounds first dropped in World of Warcraft. Soaked so much time into that game. And I think that's why I've been so like reluctant to jump back into it, because I don't know if I'm ready for that type of commitment in my life right now.
Yeah,
because that's like it's like means you're not playing any other games, you know? There's so much you can do and like to grind and level up. I just don't know if I'm about that right now.
Yeah, me never playing it is just, that's something that I'm scared of. Not scared of, but like you got so much going on. Both of us being Paladins partners, both of us looking for other games, and if we get into WoW and spend all of our time leveling up, doing raids, all this stuff, are we going to have time to put in the other content that we want to?
Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna spend some time soaking my teeth into DVD some more for sure. But
Yeah.
I wanna get to the point where I'm rotating like 3 games a week, and then maybe doing a variety stream or something. No, because I remember I got into that, so that would have been my sophomore year in high school. Just aging myself a little bit here, because World of Warcraft been around the block for a hot minute. But I was living overseas with my mom, so I'd get off of school, go home, quest and raid with my friends from like overseas, and then as they're going to bed, it's was it a 7-hour difference between where I was at in Belgium and the East Coast?
Mm-hmm.
So like as they're getting ready for bed, then like my homies from back home, we're getting on and playing, and I'd be up until like 3 a.m.
Right.
Spending way too
Yeah.
much time.
Yeah, Moon, I can see it not being your cup of tea, but
It's because he likes to click and shoot and go bang bang. Pew 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 pew.
Pew pew. I can't talk because that's me. That's me in all art. Like besides shooters, I've played sports games most of my life before getting into Call of Duty.
Yeah, it's a shame that sports games have really gone like down the dumpster in the last like 4 or 6 years.
It's copy and paste.
Well, yeah. Update the rosters, spend $60.
Madden's copy and paste. It's the same. Like a lot of people when Madden came out this year were really upset that they didn't do anything with the franchise mode, and it looks like because the competitive scene in Madden.
Is there still a Madden competitive scene?
There is, but most of it is now. It's not. You're not playing with real teams. You're playing with your ultimate teams.
Oh, with the packs and everything, right?
Exactly. So you're playing with your ultimate teams.
I thought about doing that on 2K, not gonna lie.
Yeah, so you got that, but the sports games are always going to be hard to master because you got like in 2K, there's a move that I've seen people complain about because if you do this one move, you can't stop it. It's unstoppable. And it's literally like behind the back, and it's a step back 3, and it
creates
like
enough spot where
right.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So I mean, game wise, I think coming into the new year, coming through the holidays, obviously we have both systems releasing. And being a PC player, I will eventually get the system, whether it's Xbox, PS5, or both.
Yeah, well, I'm not rushing to get one, that's for sure.
No, and the reason is I think the Xbox Game Pass is going to become the ultimate Game Pass because everything is going to be available on PC because of the cloud gaming.
And isn't the EA Pass also becoming Game Pass? Did I read that somewhere?
Well, Moon, you can't send a link, so you're gonna have to either whisper it to me or
get out of here. He's sus, anyways. I saw him.
He's sus. But yeah, so I think just going back to the oversaturation, I think games like Among Us, I think games like Phasmophobia may not have ever seen the success that they're seeing if this never happened. So while for us as content creators, it may be a little weird, I think for smaller developers, it has been a good thing.
I mean, you could even throw Fall Guys into that.
Yeah, you got category. Fall Guys, you got Among Us, you got Phasmophobia, and all these things are blowing up because people are looking for content.
Have you played season 2 yet? By the way, Fall Guys.
I have not.
I need to check it out. I have not yet either. Maybe we start that on Friday. Well, I don't know though, because I think I had an idea as far as Friday with Saint. Like, if we start Among Us, where it's like us and his communities, and then as like he gets off and stuff, and like we have more spots available when we would normally start, like what 7-ish.
Mm-hmm.
That's when like we can get more of our community swapped, and I think that'd be a fun idea.
Yeah, he usually so if we can start a stream on Friday, so I work until 3 on Fridays, I could get on right after that, and we
So
But,
let's talk about. I know you like talking sports. Neither of our teams are really worth talking about right now.
I mean, we could talk about them,
I
but
mean, they're really not worth talking about right now.
we're
But
gonna talk about
I
them.
did want to get your opinion on the Dak situation as far as, this whole off season we saw where he was back and forth with Jerry trying to get his money.
Hmm.
Probably should have taken the like midterm deal that they offered him. Instead, he took the franchise tag because he asked for more money. Obviously, hindsight's 2020. Pumps. But like looking back on it, like would you have done anything different if you were him?
So this is it's an interesting topic coming from me because I'm an Eagles fan.
Right.
I hate the Cowboys. I hate Dak. I hate everything on their team. I hate the star. I hate the colors. I hate everything. Um, that being said, I feel terrible for Dak. I would never root for somebody's injury.
Right. 100%.
Um,
I think all of us who hate the Cowboys feel the same way.
I hope he makes a recovery. I hope he makes a speedy recovery. This is an interesting topic because in the offseason before any of this happened, I thought Dak should have took the money.
Mm-hmm.
As an Eagles fan, I wanted the Cowboys to pay him $70 million a year.
Waste
So
as
they
much
couldn't
cap on them as you could.
exactly.
Yep. No.
So
Yeah.
they,
I feel you.
you know what I mean? Like, because as an Eagles fan, I'm feeling the cap situation with Carson Wentz.
Right. Oh, 100%. Who
So
also hasn't really paid out, to be fair, but
no, but
he's
see,
fragile.
for me, that's the only thing I have against Carson Wentz.
Fragile.
Everything else, yeah, everything else. But you got to look at his injuries too. Yes, he's been injured a lot, but his injuries, like he's literally trying to will them to a NFC Championship game.
Well, Philly has notoriously bad management. Like they don't
You know what I
exactly give
mean? Like,
him like
so
help.
when he gets his torn ACL,
Right.
gets it by running in a touchdown, and somebody hit him on the knee. You know what I mean? It's kind of like Dak's injury. It's just there was nothing wrong with the play. The defender didn't do anything dirty. It's
Mm-hmm.
just something that happened. He
Right.
comes back. He comes back, and you listen to a lot of professional athletes. They're not right, even when your time frame for a return from torn ACL is like 8 to 9, 12 months, maybe.
Normally, right.
You still don't feel right. You got to get mentally right before that, so it takes a little longer. So I think the reason he struggled early on in the next season was because he wasn't mentally ready to put everything into that knee.
Right.
So then he gets a broken back. Again, not a dirty play, not anything like that. It's a broken back. Um, Next injury was when he willed us to the playoffs last year with practice squad receivers. He had nobody on the team that had over 500 yards receiving as a wide receiver and still beat Dallas to get into the playoffs with Greg Ward, JJ Arcega Whiteside, and me as the other receiver. And he gets it. This is the dirty shot. He gets a dirty shot by Jadeveon Clowney early in against Seattle, and he's out of the game with a concussion. There's just nothing like it wasn't him being reckless. It wasn't like I can't blame any of the injuries on him or the other defenders besides the Clowney hit. That being said, going back to Dak, I don't know if he's back with the Cowboys.
I don't think he is. I don't think they were. I think they're trying to get one more year out of him, and I wonder if they hope that Dalton's the guy, or if Dalton's just going to be a cheaper placeholder. I'm not really sure which.
Well, that's the thing. So either, and that's it. Kind of Emmanuel Acho said this. He said, "Listen, either Andy Dalton comes in and they make the playoffs, and Jerry says, okay, well, we're not going to pay you $200 million
right
because we just made the playoffs with Andy Dalton, or they start losing. They go 5-11, 4-12, whatever they go, 6-11.
Which do you think is more likely to happen?
I don't know, honestly. I mean, I can see them being in every game if Andy Dalton just becomes a game manager. If they run Zeke, if they use their weapons.
See, that's my thing. I almost wonder if he just comes in and because he plays with nothing to lose, I wonder if even though Dak had these record numbers like going for the first whatever it was, four games of the season.
He's had great numbers the last 2 years, but what has it turned into?
Well,
realistically,
it's a lot of BS numbers if we're fair. It's when they're down, end of the third, beginning of the fourth quarter.
Listen, they get behind.
Yep.
Just like they did in every game this year. They get behind.
Yep.
And it's a lot of defenses taking their foot off the gas pedal and playing straight up, trying to keep everything in front of them. And then it ends up getting to a closer game to where I wish some of these teams just be like a college football team, be like Alabama playing like Western Jesuit and just beating them 73-0. Like, don't let your foot up.
Yeah.
It's the NFL. It's literally the NFL. Why are you letting your foot up? Just keep running the score.
Because they're already where they want to be. So because they
but it doesn't matter.
It shouldn't matter, but it does matter.
Just look at Atlanta. Atlanta shouldn't have lost that game.
Well, Atlanta shouldn't have lost quite a few games over the last few years.
But that's what
fair,
I mean. But if they stuck with their game plan that got them to where they wanted to be,
mm-hmm.
and in that Super Bowl against Dallas, against these teams that are losing games that they're up 20 plus points on, they don't lose these games if they keep their foot on the gas.
Yeah.
I just don't get the thought process behind it. What, they're not going to like you? Who cares? They don't like you anyway.
Facts.
You know what I mean? Like, the Eagles are never going to like the Cowboys. The Cowboys are never going to like the Eagles. So if the Cowboys are beating the Eagles, like I remember a few years back, it was Cowboys Eagles to get to the playoffs. The Eagles beat them 44-6. I was at the game. We were up 35-0 at a halftime. I was like, yes, this is exactly what you do.
Yeah.
Now you come out, you get the ball to start the second half, and you go down and score. And that's it. That ends the game right there. It's just, you literally told them you were literally not going to let them beat you that day. And that's what more teams need to do. They just need to do it. And they don't. And that's why the Falcons are 0-5, and they just fired the head coach and general manager.
I mean, Atlanta was kind of overdue for a change in its management for a while.
Yeah, but that's the thing. If you win that Dallas game, if you win the other game where you're up 20 points, because you don't change your way of thinking.
Right.
Your coach isn't fired right now. Your GM isn't fired right now. But you let it come down to an onside kick, and then
that onside kick was so bad.
The players on the field just sat there and watched it.
Yeah, that was like... I mean, I only played a couple years of football, but even I knew that one was...
It's just... I feel bad for Dak. I don't think he's back in the Cowboys uniform next year. I do think he gets his money still.
I don't think as big of a payday, but he'll get paid.
No, he'll still get paid.
Mid-20s, low 30s next year by somebody. Somebody will give him that money.
Unless the Cowboys franchise tag him again. If they franchise
tag him again... I don't see why they would.
But if they do... If I'm Dak, I'm holding out. I'm not playing next year because of what happened this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm holding out until you either trade me or you give me a long-term deal that I deem as fair. Because, he's being a good teammate by playing on the franchise tag this year. And look what happened. Le'Veon Bell did it 2 years ago.
I mean, he's still getting paid good money on the franchise tag.
You're getting paid great money, but you're only getting paid it for this year.
Right.
You know what I mean? To where when you do a long-term deal, it's all about the guaranteed dollars. It's not really about...
I mean, that deal he got was pretty nice to be... Well, that he was offered that he turned down was pretty nice, but...
Well, that's also, and this is me. I can't believe I'm saying this shit, but, like, there's 3 sides to every story, right? You're going to get one from Dak, you're going to get one from the Cowboys, and somewhere in the middle is the truth.
Right. Right.
You know what I mean? So you could say that this is the offer we gave them, and Dak can come out and say, no, they didn't give me that offer. I would have accepted that offer when the offer was just really somewhere in the middle. It wasn't really, But again, feel bad for Dak. Never root for that. Hope he makes a recovery. And that's pretty much it. I just don't think he'll be with the Cowboys. And I never, as an Eagles fan, I don't want it to be easier to win a division. Like, yeah, if we won the division this year because Dak got hurt, like that's all people are going to say. You only won the division because Dak got hurt. And it is what it is. Like, injuries are a part of football.
I mean, is anyone ever going to say that about the Cowboys, though? Like, the only people who would say that are Cowboys fans, let's be fair.
Right, exactly. But that's the thing. The reason I hate the Cowboys as much as I do is because of their fans. And it's not fans from Dallas. It's fans from
all across the world because they're from America's team.
Who were born right outside this window at the hospital in Center City, Philadelphia, who decided they're a Cowboys fan because their granddaddy's granddaddy was a Cowboys fan. And it's like, nah, bro. Like, you just seen them winning in the 90s and you were like, I'm going to be a Cowboys fan.
Right.
Yeah, that's the easy way out. Pick a team where you actually have to have some losses and some, character building.
See, I was in a situation where when I moved back stateside from my dad was stationed over in Belgium when I was young. We were in El Paso, Texas. So we were like right in between Cowboys and I guess that'd have been the Cardinals.
Oilers?
This team? No, because they had just went to Tennessee.
Okay, so that's when they moved from
because we went down to El Paso like 98, 97, somewhere in there. So like it was like right after the move. But so where we were, it was just far enough away from Dallas that like either you loved Dallas or you hated Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
And
this is probably still when I don't remember when the Cardinals got moved from the NFC East. Because the Cardinals were part of the NFC East. All right, yeah. So the team changed its name from the Phoenix Cardinals to the Arizona Cardinals in '94. They moved in 2002.
From Phoenix?
From NFC East to the NFC West.
Oh, got you. Okay. So it'd have been a different division. Yes, that. By the time I left there, would have been when they because I moved to St. Louis in 01.
But when you were there, that's a division rivalry. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
true.
If you're in there at 98, you're far enough away from Dallas to where the people who hate Dallas were probably Cardinals fans.
Yep.
Because of it being a division rivalry and being close to Arizona.
Yep, that would be it.
Weevil, I don't want to talk to you right now. You Steelers fans were sweating in your boots this weekend, and you should have lost the game. But our defensive coordinator is an idiot, and we don't want to talk about the Vikings because.
I mean, we paid Captain Kirk way too much money. Twice. So bad. Well, it sucked because I came to the end of last year and like I knew that we were going to re-sign him to try and like spread his money out, but it's the dumbest decision to ever do. But we shouldn't have given him that money in the first place. So it is what it is, right?
It's funny because the year after, I think it was the year after the year after the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I think we played you again in the regular season and you won. And a lot of the Minnesota fans were like, yeah, take that. And I'm like, well, we kind of beat you 38-7 in the NFC Championship game. Like, yeah. That's a little different than you beating us in the regular season.
Well, our problem was our offense did its normal thing and our defense didn't show up. So,
well, Kirk Cousins is the reason they lost that game.
Kirk going Kirk sometimes, you know.
Kirk throwing that pick six. So you guys were up 7-0 in the NFC Championship game. Driving again, we couldn't stop you, and he threw an interception for a pick six, and you couldn't do anything else. That was it. And then Nick Foles just put on his Superman cape and decided to drop 38 on you.
It's funny because I remember the weekend before that would have been the New Orleans game. and I lost my mind during the Minneapolis Miracle.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. It's kind of like, because us as Eagles fans, we've had those things happen to where, whether it was Brian Westbrook returning a punt against the Giants and we had nothing going that game. Brian Westbrook returns the punt, we win the game.
Right.
Or Deshaun Jackson returning a punt to end the game against the same, was it the Giants or the Cowboys? That was the Cowboys. The Cowboys coach literally told the punter not to punt the ball to Deshaun Jackson. What's he do? He puts it in the middle of the field. Deshaun Jackson runs around until time is over and runs into the end zone. 2 games we shouldn't have won, and we did. But yeah, you had the Minnesota Miracle, and then you got rid of Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I think Diggs unfortunately got portrayed as the bad guy, even though there were times that he shouldn't have been. But that was just one of those situations where unfortunately management had to pick a side.
Who doesn't look
Bro,
to spread
he's
the ball
so
around.
average and he doesn't take the top off. It's so frustrating to watch. I can't do it.
So you even have it now. So like Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson balling. I like Justin Jefferson.
I loved the pickup. Yep.
But what happened with Justin Jefferson last night?
I didn't even watch the game last night, to be honest with you. We already got our cable turned off for the move. So.
Last night, Kirk Cousins only had eyes for Adam Thielen, which means Justin Jefferson didn't get his first catch until the 3rd quarter. And it's, bro, you got to look around. I get Adam Thielen's your main, but this guy just dropped 100 and 170 yards the last 2 weeks. Get him involved.
Last year, he had a bad habit of doing that with Treadwell, and Treadwell's got them like stone hands, dog. It's just so bad.
I hear you.
So bad. So
I hear you.
The last thing sports-wise I want to talk about, and we can talk about it more in depth, some of the other things and that will come up during this conversation, undoubtedly. One of the most unnecessarily talked about people in the history of sports. But he's a great athlete and won his 4th championship last night. So let's talk about let's go ahead and talk about the Lakers.
Well, first, congratulations to the Lakers.
Yeah.
I hope you weren't in LA because LA is going to have a spike in COVID cases for everybody that went out to party on the streets after the championship.
Yeah.
But congratulations to them for winning the championship. I don't put an asterisk next to it, as some people would suggest.
I think, if anything, in a game that produces so much momentum from feeding off the crowd, I think the bubble neutralized it and really the best teams came out on top, personally.
Yeah, I agree. So you got the NBA did a great job. Okay. Pandemic, they literally shut the shit down, put them in a bubble, put every team in there, 22 teams in a bubble to start it off. And then the teams that didn't make the playoffs got taken out, and then one by one, the teams that, yeah, but the Nuggets are good, Moon. Like, the Nuggets have a good team. The problem is the Clippers, who would have been LA's most formidable opponent in the Western Conference Finals, didn't close out their series.
Well, I think they were too worried about being built for the Lakers that they didn't worry too much about being built for anybody else.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You have Kawhi Leonard, you have Paul George, and that surrounding cast, and you can't win one game.
Well, I don't think anyone expected Pandemic P to come out and be Pandemic P either, so there's that.
Yeah, but congratulations to the Lakers. Me and Q had this conversation. To me, LeBron's on the Mount Rushmore. He's not above Jordan. Sorry, I'm never going to say it. I don't care if he wins 8 championships. It's just the way it goes. He's on the Mount Rushmore, though. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely been, when you look at, I think, our generation, especially our generation, let's just say the last 20 years of basketball, he's been he was a name in basketball before he ever graced an NBA court. I mean, he was selling out arenas in high school, getting ESPN cover in high school. So when you think about the amount of kids who at the time, like that was the wave at the time for anybody who watched like developmental basketball at the time, was one and dones, or people going straight from high school. But he actually not only like was successful in the NBA, but is arguably
he lived up to what he was supposed to be,
and plus more.
That's the most impressive thing about it is he's had pressure on him since he was 14.
Mm-hmm.
He had, like you said, ESPN cameras at his AAU games and high school games and just ridiculousness. And the teams he was playing against in high school, remember, had Melo, had Wade, had these people on their high school team.
Those Oak Hill games were dope, man.
Oh, ridiculous. So I give it off to LeBron. LeBron is a great player. He has been his entire career. I disagree with the way he handled some of his moves, like the move to Miami and da-da-da-da. And then
I think that's
Miami,
where he gained most of his haters.
I agree. And then in Miami, you lose to the Spurs and you lose Dirk Nowitzki. I think that's where the greatness I think that's where the greatness thing with him and Jordan falls short.
Yeah.
And it's because when Jordan was winning his championships, his 2 3-peats, by the way, he stopped people like David Robinson, like Patrick Ewing, like Reggie Miller from ever getting a ring. But LeBron let Dirk get a ring. LeBron let Tim get how many rings? You know what I mean? So, like, Jordan was that guy that if you didn't get through Jordan, you weren't winning a ring.
Well, and I always try and tell people, like, LeBron's great, but we can compare titles and all these subjective matters. And even like all NBA or all defensive like first teams is still subjective, right? Like
it's not though, because Jordan was an elite defender.
Right, but I'm saying
was an elite defender. LeBron was never an elite defender.
He's been on it like 4 times.
That argument there. Is LeBron a better rebounder? Yes. But should he be? Yes, because he's
6'8", 250. Like, what do you mean?
He's 2 inches taller and he's 40 pounds heavier. So yes, he should have more rebounds than Michael Jordan.
He should be dominating. Like, I think that's where like a lot of people like lose. I think when people look at him and say he's not the greatest of all time or the greatest player, because like, dude, he's 6'8", 250. Like, in a sport designed the way that it is, he should be out there killing cats. But dog, like he shoots for like a 70% clip from the free throw line.
I know
that's basic stuff. Like, come on, man.
I don't get how he went. Do it. Like, he was a good free throw shooter, and then
because he got lazy because he didn't have to do anything.
That just went to shit. But
because he started getting calls and he started being able to flop more. So now he's like, that's like his mid-range game's always been streaky at best. Like the basic stuff for hoops. Like, I think that's what bothers me the most. It's like, can he score? Yeah, he can go out and get you a bucket, but like, bro, we're talking about just an athletic specimen that we'd be talking about no matter what sport he played. Like, if he would have went and played like as a receiver coming out of Akron, like we'd be talking about him as one of the best tight ends or receivers ever to play the game. Like, he's just a freak athlete. Probably. It's disgusting.
Yeah. But the thing with it is, it's, like I said, he's on my Mount Rushmore. He's a great player. It's never going to take away from his greatness. I'll never sit here and say he's not great.
I can't wait for the dude to retire. I really can't. And I feel bad for saying that because I like how he plays the game other than like his like driving and crying, but I love the way that he distributes. He does play defense from time to time. He gets boards. He gets buckets. But
my thing is this:
I can't deal with the crybaby shit.
You're 260.
Yeah,
you should be able to get a bucket anytime you want.
Well, right, and that's my thing with it, right? And that's why I can't say he's like the best basketball player, but he's a great athlete. He plays the game well. Like I said, easily. I wouldn't say easily. He's definitely top. Actually, easily and definitely are like the same thing. But like, I think for 95% people, he's for sure top 10. I
Oh,
think
I
he's
agree.
debatably
I agree.
top 5. I think there's some arguments that go in there, but
Moon, I do not think that James Harden will win a ring. No.
I think he needs the right coach.
I don't care who the coach is. I don't care if Phil Jackson's his coach. I don't care. I don't think he gets a ring. No.
Mm. I would like him to. He won't with Westbrook on his team, that's for sure. Not with Westbrook on his team. Westbrook, that boy. I can't.
Where is the Greek Freak going? Question from Moon. Yeah, but Moon, he's been in Houston how long? He's got, he couldn't make it work with Chris Paul. Now he's trying to make it work with Westbrook. It's not going to work with Westbrook.
He needs a big man.
Needs?
He needs a big man.
He had Clint Capella. They got rid of him.
Clint Capella's a 3-and-D guy. He needs a big man. Like, he needs a big boy. He needs a big old body. Like, that's what he needs.
But why? That's not the game no more.
A lot of teams have one though. Like, that's honestly one thing I really like. That was what I really liked about the composition of this LA team. Was like they kind of brought like big boy basketball back a little bit.
Yeah, but like, so here's the thing. If the Sixers healthy played the Lakers, Joel Embiid would dominate in Anthony Davis.
I don't think so.
100%.
For a game during the season, maybe. I don't think in the playoffs.
He always has.
Embiid playoff is different, man. It's frustrating to say because I don't know why. Because he can be a beast during the season, but there's something about the postseason. He just like, I don't know if the confidence. He's no longer trusting the process. I don't know what it is, but playoff Embiid hit different, you know. That, and I just don't want to see that big ugly ass crying at the end of the series again.
Leave him alone. Eric Spoelstra crying. I'm smoking crack because Embiid is the best big man that we have in the game right now.
I wanna kind of be on board with that, but I don't think I can.
He is, if healthy, Joel Embiid is the best big man in the game.
I think Cat would have something to say about that.
Oh, don't give me Cat.
I think AD would have something to say about that.
I'll give you Anthony Davis. You want me to pull? Hold on, wait. Let's do this. Hold on.
Don't sleep on my boy Jokic. I think Jokic might have something to say about that.
Yeah.
I know it's not a very exciting version of basketball to watch, but like that's not actually a possibility, is it?
Listen, Moon's a Lakers fan, so Moon's gonna stick up for AD. That's fine. And I'm a Sixers fan, so I'm going to tell you that Joel Embiid's still better than Anthony Davis. But wait. Embiid versus Cat. Do you know how many games Embiid won and Cat won?
I mean, who does Cat have around him?
Oh, well, now it's about people he has around him. Who would Embiid have around him?
I mean, he's got Simmons, who's decent.
Okay.
Y'all had Jimmy. Y'all should have taken advantage of Jimmy more.
I believe me. Moon, he also lost Ben Simmons. If LeBron lost Anthony Davis or Anthony Davis lost LeBron, are the Lakers champions right now?
Oh, well, I mean, they were playing backups from Miami, so maybe.
So Karl Anthony Towns versus Joel Embiid is 5-1. And Embiid beats him in every statistical category. So yes, that does mean Embiid is better when they're playing literally against each other.
Yeah, I think Dallas is gonna have a good squad for a hot minute. That Luka kid's gonna be something different.
Luka's nice. I think, listen, here's my thing. So let's just talk locally right now. Sixers. My biggest problem with the Sixers is they're two stars. It was never Brett Brown in my eyes. They're two stars. 1, Joel Embiid refusing to get in shape. 2, Ben Simmons refusing to fucking shoot the ball. Until they decide to make that happen, the Sixers won't win a damn thing. I don't care who they have around them. So, do I like the Doc Rivers hire? Sure. And I like it because he's a coach that these players can't look at and be like, well, I'm not listening to him.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I like it in that way. But if nothing changes, like a lot of my friends who are Sixers fans think that, you know, you should bench Ben if he doesn't shoot, or you should bench Joel if he doesn't get into shape. And it's like, well, then as a coach, you're kind of doing it backwards, because then you're literally saying, I'm going to lose this game just to prove a point.
So last thing we'll touch on here, I think, as far as this, at least probably for this episode, and then we can still keep talking. But as far as, since we're already at almost an hour, well, we'll probably be a little bit over an hour at this point, but we can trim other places. But I want to get your opinion. Since we're talking about the Clippers and Doc Rivers, what's your thought on the Doc Rivers signing for your team?
Like I said, I like it. I think he can hold the players more accountable, but I think he'll be able to use Tobias Harris better.
Yeah.
I think we have to try and find a way to get rid of Al Horford, and it's not all Al Horford's fault.
He's just not worth the money that your return on investment isn't worth it for you.
Money. I just don't think he fits. I don't think he fits our team. I think that was a mistake by Elton Brand.
I think that's also very fair, because Al Horford's always been the big, and obviously they're trying to play him on the floor with Embiid at the same time, which isn't going to work. Not in today's game.
It's the fact of, you got him playing the 4 because you wanted a stretch 4, and Al, while he can hit threes, isn't going to be that stretch 4.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, it just is what it is. He's going to miss more threes than he makes. But the Sixers, and just me reiterating this point, I don't think Brett Brown was the biggest issue. I don't think Doc Rivers is going to rectify all these issues. The issue with the Sixers, they will never win an NBA championship unless he gets in shape and Ben Simmons decides to shoot a 15-foot jumper consistently. I don't need Ben to take a 3. I don't.
No, you just need him to be able to space your floor.
Yep. I need him to take. I need him to
That's
get to
very
the
fair.
elbow. I need him to drive and stop at the elbow, because when he drives, everybody's just going to collapse the paint, stop at the elbow, and pull up and take the 15-foot jumper. That's it.
Hit those short corners.
That's it.
Yep.
And honestly, Moon, we have an elite defender that we drafted last year in Matisse Thybulle. I think getting rid of Horford will allow us to fill the team out a little bit more like we want to. I think we need a couple more shooters. So you'll probably see people like Mike Scott going. You'll probably see people from the bench going. We need a better backup point guard. And it all depends, I guess, on where Doc plays Ben. Is Doc going to put Ben at point, or is he going to put him at the 4?
I mean, I feel like you kind of have to use him to his skill set, right? I mean, because he's basically been running Al's point, hasn't he?
We need space more than playmakers, because honestly, if we get space, Ben Simmons is probably one of the best playmakers that you could have. He just can't shoot a jumper right now. Well, not that he can't, because you could see him shooting the jumper in practice and on all of his IG videos and all that good stuff, but he refuses to do it in game. So, yeah, it was a good first week. We'll come up with more.
Yeah, dude.
We'll create more.
Yeah, I think we just kind of do the starting it off, kind of like what's been up the last week in content creation.
Yeah.
Or at least how you doing, how things been.
Yeah, so one, you can catch me, you can catch Q, both here on Twitch.
Word.
So Q, I'm sure we'll put our links down in the description in the YouTube video, but it's twitch.tv/OogieBoogie Gaming, twitch.tv/yourboyQ. You can find us all week. We stream. We're basically full. Well, Q's definitely a full-time streamer. I'm
Content creator.
well, yeah, he's a full-time content creator. I pretty much am a full-time content creator, even with a full-time job. We put a lot of work into this, whether it be our stream, whether it be coming up with other content to bring out. So yeah, check us out there. 2 streams during the mornings, 3 days a week.
4 if you include Sunday. Yeah.
Okay, so 4 days a week.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah.
4 days a week, he's live bright and early. The other 2 days, he is a later
Tuesday,
stream.
Thursday, Fridays we do evening, including drinking Among Us on Friday.
Yeah, and that'll grow into more than just Among Us on Fridays, but yeah, right now it's drinking Among Us.
Yeah, although I'm probably not gonna be drinking this week.
That's all right. You don't have to drink. I haven't drank in the last couple of weeks, so it's okay.
Yeah.